What's up, Alphas? It's Zelmay with.
A classic Ruby, y'all. Guess what? Everyone is super mad at me. I've noticed this on my main channel. Like I was just telling Zell before we started that I've lost like over 10 subscribers. And I think it's because people don't like when you are objectively honest and they don't like news that's objectively honest. They want people to just keep twisting things to benefit them and benefit their silly narratives. And trust me, tonight we will lose more probably because that is not, we are not here to stroke any egos or make anyone feel better. And I'm super excited because tonight, guys, we're doing half news and then half discussion. And there's going to be a call and y'all can call in and we're going to talk about some stuffs. Are you excited, Zal? I'm excited.
I am excited, and we're gonna get into it. So as soon as I said it, you get unblurred. Shout out to that though. I'm speaking into existence, but we do got some stories. I know that's what y'all here for, so let's get it started.
Mm-hmm. Now, y'all, I hate these stories. There's always something in common with these stories, unfortunately. Sisters or even parents traveling with their own children and being accused of horrific things, specifically human trafficking their own child. Let's take a look.
It all started a week ago on a flight from SeaTac International Airport to Charlotte, North Carolina. Francisco de Jesus was traveling with his 13-year-old daughter.
We're going to go celebrate my oldest daughter's graduation. You know, I mean, it was a happy time.
A happy time that took a horrible turn.
I got up to go to the bathroom. When I came back, my daughter had some wings. And I was like, oh, where'd you get those from? She said, well, somebody came over and talked to me, asked me if I was okay, where was I going, who was I going to meet.
He says he didn't think much of it until the plane touched down.
As we're deplaning, we're greeted by several individuals. One of them who introduced himself as the head of security for the Charlotte International Airport.
Now remember, right, that they did not speak to the father, who has a Hispanic last name, but it clearly is a black man. They did not speak to the father directly. They did not speak to the daughter in the presence of the father, right? They waited till the father left and then quizzed the girl alone. So there was no charitability, no benefit of the doubt, no assumption that like, hey, maybe these people know each other. They have the same last name. The child is clearly very comfortable in his presence and vice versa. I don't know, but let's keep listening because there's other telltale signs here that this child was not under duress, nor was she limited from being able to communicate with others. So it's insane that they did this. It really is. And although we don't get to see an image of the child, right, who is obviously underage, she's 13 years old. I'm gonna guess that child is white. Or incredibly light-skinned, right? And because this is what we always see. We see when there's a difference in race between the parent and the child, and the parent is black and the child is white or maybe Asian looking or something. This is what you see. Or a sister, a sibling. I remember we talked about this on Char and I's news channel, where it was a sister who was dark-skinned, an older sister taking a younger sister who was like white looking. And that's like me and my sister. So it really hit me hard because I've had those looks and whatever, like, what are you doing with that kid? Or like, really? This is my baby sister. Like, look closely. We look enough alike. Anyway, let's keep looking.
Francisco and his daughter were led through the terminal before they were finally told why.
He says, we train our attendants to look for these signs for human trafficking. And at that point, my heart just sank.
With a scared daughter by his side, he says he answered questions and quickly cleared up any confusion.
They were very professional. They saw the situation for what it was immediately. He came over and he handed me that patch and he said, this is so you can remember today. I didn't say anything. I know he meant it in a good way. My question that I would like to have answered is, how did they get to label me as a human trafficker?
Right. And how dare they bring you a patch and say, remember this day, like it's gonna not be tied to like nightmares and trauma? How dare they? Wow, that is some blatant bullshit. Okay. That is terrible.
I had my iPad, we were watching a movie, she had her phone. I mean, these are things that I thought a dad and a
She
daughter
had her
traveling
phone.
do. I tried to reach American Airlines to find out, and I'm getting absolutely nothing from them.
When King 5 reached out, American Airlines responded with a statement saying frontline team members are trained to navigate a variety of safety issues, including recognizing the potential signs of human trafficking. We strive to create a positive, welcoming environment for everyone who travels with us and apologize for any misunderstanding that may have occurred.
Human trafficking is a very serious thing, and I can appreciate it, but what we went through and the fear of that was just, it wasn't nice.
Bro, I'm tired of this. Whether it's the police department or the schools or the airlines, they always say stuff like, we were just following policy. We were just following orders. Okay, well then that suggests to me that your policy and your orders are bullshit. They are not accurately identifying real targets, right? Real issues. And instead they are very likely to pick up a bunch of innocent people. That's a problem, right? So it's like, for example, and I'm talking about like when I was in retail, so like, years ago, whatever, right? But stores that did their own loss prevention versus people who hired a loss prevention team out. That's basically to, stop or lower stealing. So stores, and I'm not even kidding, stores that did their own loss prevention were very bad at stopping thefts or lowering theft. And the reason why is because they targeted a certain key demographics. They targeted Black people. They targeted immigrant populations they could tell were for sure immigrant. They spoke foreign languages and whatever. They targeted teenagers. But what they never targeted were the people who are the highest and most likely to steal. Okay. And so all of those factors, when the store is busiest, whatever, that's not when your loss, right, or your shrinkage rate goes up. No. It was in the middle of the day when, the housewife with the little baby and the stroller comes. That's who's stealing your stuff. That person. That's actually the highest likelihood. But that's not who they go for, right? Never who they go for. And so this is the problem. If your policy allows for irrational, illogical, or plain out wrong biases and stereotypes to run the decision making, then what ends up happening is your policy never saves any of these people who are being human trafficked and do need to be saved and do need to be identified and do need to be targeted, right? And do need to even be saved from themselves if there's like some Stockholm syndrome thing. But you're never going to target those people because you didn't make policies to target those people. You made policies to criminalize innocent dads and moms and sisters and stuff just because they happen to be a little darker skinned than their child or sibling.
I just want to know what kind of training they do, and is it enough?
And a short time after our interview, he tells me that a spokesperson from American Airlines did reach out to him, and he says they're looking into the matter at SeaTac Airport. Now
they're looking into it.
5 News.
Well, as long as they're looking into it. As long as they're looking into it, everything will be okay. That's the important part, is that they're looking into it. I mean, seriously, I was worried. I thought they might not look into it. And if they don't look into it, God, how are we going to solve everything? But they're looking into it, so we're safe, y'all. We are safe. What do you think about this ridiculous mess, Sal?
It is.
I give you the honors. Go ahead.
One thing I do not understand is that's all everything always does. Look into it. We're going to look into it. This sounds weird. We're going to look into it. This woman got accused this man of this, or this man got accused of this, or somebody attacked somebody. We'll look into it. Usually when they tell you that, have you noticed that no one ever looks into it when somebody say we look into it? That's the worst thing. They either say I'm on it or I'm looking into it. And when they say I'm looking into it, usually nothing good happens.
Nope, never. Well, because they don't bother, right? And this is where, like I was saying, for example, I know we got at least one mama in the chat. Mama Bella is up, but I'm sure other people in similar situations. Because listen, we Black folk, okay, and Black folk, that means like literally Black comes in all shades, in a whole bunch of phenotypes, and it is so difficult when you've got, say, half siblings, cousins, whatever. You could literally be completely different skin tones, have completely different features sometimes, but you have like one thing shared. And the problem is when they somehow or another, because they don't do this with Black children, right? They only do it when the adult is Black and the child is white. And I know because I used to have these issues bringing my sister and my baby cousins around because they're all like white looking, right? And, I get looks and da-da-da. Now, my sister is very vocal, okay? She will cuss somebody nicely, but still she wouldn't. She'd tell them about themselves. Don't you talk that way? But still, it's a problem. It's a definite problem.
It is a problem that we need to fix, and hopefully we'll get it settled soon. We have another video in which we talked about kids, and this man happens to love the kids. So let's get into it.
It's gonna be a good-looking baby, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. But that was the thing, honestly, and I joke about this on stage as well. But it's like, I just wanted to have that experience. I always wanted more than just a couple of kids. I always wanted 5 kids. I always thought I would have 5 kids by the time I was 40.
Bro, you grew up in Southern California.
Yeah.
I am chasing Nick Cannon. It's a wild Nick Cannon out running around, creating babies like rabbits. He's a rabbit. He's creating so many kids. It is actually insane how many kids he has. Now we might need to understand his thought process on this. Let's listen to it.
Don't have sex with anyone that I don't think
feel like you
that I need to be protected.
But what if
with.
a girl's like, we need a condom?
Then then we need to step back and have a different kind of conversation.
Yeah,
because why? Because now again, I've been doing this a long time.
Okay. I get it. Listen, wants to populate the earth. If the woman wants to get pregnant, he wants to oblige them. But let's talk about the problem he had. He can't be at every home, right? That's the one criticism. He can't be at every home. I'm not gonna lie to you. A neglected child that feels like his father is too separated. Some of them will tend to be okay as long as he's in their life, and some of them will feel left out. It's easier to feel like, oh, this child is being attended to more than me. Mariah Carey's son or daughter is being attended to.
Are you present for all of this stuff? How can you possibly be there enough for everybody?
I got a time machine.
To more than mine. Now, his girlfriends, of course, they don't seem to have a problem with it. Meaning he's a good dude. Meaning he's taking care of them. He's doing what he's supposed to do. They're living their life. They want kids. He wants kids. What's the problem? Again, process of growing. It gets dangerous the more you have. I know people in Mississippi right now who have a lot of kids, right? They have a lot of children. And they are literally going around. And some struggle. Some have resentment. And some love them. And I think that's the problem Nick Cannon going to have. But again, he's wealthy enough to take care of them. Listen, Nick Cannon's situation is better than dude up the road who don't have a job and his kid, even if he's around, they're going to struggle. And he's 18 and he ain't got a life. Nick Cannon's situation is much better than that. Nick Cannon actually can provide. So that's what I'm saying. But the kids might feel the type of way. It's a little harder to get that full growth in them. He might miss some events. Some of the kids might have different events because they multiple moms. I think it's 12 kids, 6 baby moms. They might go around and do different things, and he has to try to make up for each. Then they might have an event on the same day. One might have football, one might have a play. He got to pick and choose. He might choose to play over football, but then they remember it. All kind of problems can come from that mentally for the kid. But thankfully, again, they have an opportunity to grow. They have an opportunity, generational wealth. And let's think about this. Maybe Nick Cannon is right. Maybe if he has 100 kids, he's worth $100 million. Each kid gets $1 million. Generational wealth for black people.
Well, I'm actually looking to better myself. Last week, I got a chance to talk to, Deepak Chopra about it. This week, I'm going to be talking to some therapists, and it's really just to be at one, to be aligned. I'm a real spiritual person, and, everyone from my pastor to my therapist said, Nick, slow down. And because I want to focus on the show and be the best that I could possibly be, I'm kind of getting rid of, unnecessary frequencies in my life.
Generational wealth. Nick Cannon has got a plan. That man has had a plan. Going to implement it. 100 kids at $1 million each. I don't know how serious they can be. But hey, listen. Generational wealth. You got 100 millionaires that's black now. You do know you like them mixed kids. He like them. Just saying. They all ain't gonna be pure black. Dr. Umar talked to y'all earlier about them. Just letting y'all know. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'll be that news. Do all that over on that media, over on that ENT. Classic Ruby. All that thing. Hit that button. I appreciate y'all. Ruby, your thoughts on the baby maker?
Okay. See, now I have a different opinion than everybody. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys in as few words as possible because we're trying a new thing where we are literally on a clock because both of us, but I'll own it, especially me, like to talk. Okay. So we are trying to cut it down for y'all so that way we can get to the fun part with the call-ins. Okay. So anyway, I know that's already 25 seconds. Now, I think that Nick Cannon suffers from something called hindsight bias. Okay. Basically, what I think is that this was never his plan to populate the earth. I think he's just irresponsible and hedonistic. And then when he realized he had way more kids than was reasonable, instead of just owning up to that, he decided to say, no, I knew it all along. I wanted it to be like this. I wanted to create a nation. Who cares that it's going to bankrupt me? So I don't even believe Nick Cannon, to be honest. That's how I see him right now.
Yeah, I think Nick going out here, he said he wanted 5. So that's why I put that in the beginning of the video, by the way. I want y'all to know how many he said he wanted. He said 5. He has 12 right now. By the way, he had 5, and then all of a sudden COVID hit, and he just went crazy. Maybe it's all the negative frequencies, Ruby. He was trying to release all. That interview was in 2020 when he had his 5th kid, and right when he was having his 6th. So maybe the negative frequencies was he trying to get it out of him and put it into someone else.
The negative frequency. Listen, Nick Cannon just doesn't like using protection. The end. And he likes young, fertile-looking women, and as a result, and those women like Nick Cannon's because they want their children to pay for their lifestyle for the rest of their lives. And Nick Cannon is willing to give them that. So that is what it is. Unless he wants to own up and say, hey, listen, this wasn't really my plan. I ruined my life. Don't be like me. Has nothing to do with being a black Jew. He's just going to keep creating more. And eventually he's going to have no choice but to admit he messed up. Saying.
And another company needs to admit they messed up because they're spying on you. So let's look at that story.
Mm-hmm. Now, y'all, we've got to talk about something I consider to be quite serious. And the unfortunate part is that the companies involved here are not taking ownership of what they've been caught in. And yeah, I'm going to say that plainly, because even though I'm going to let you know what their response is and what they claim is really happening, we have the evidence. Okay? Smartphones are not stupid. They're a lot smarter than their users, oftentimes. Let's keep it a buck. Okay. Now, over the weekend, Twitter engineer Fad Dabiri tweeted a screenshot of his microphone usage from his Google Pixel phone. It showed WhatsApp listening through the device in stints as long as 26 minutes while the app wasn't in use. Sounds like WhatsApp is spying on its users. Let's take a look at that screenshot. So as you can see here, right? It tells you how long the microphone was engaged. 5 minutes, 26 minutes, 2 minutes, right? Not at all 14 minutes. Wait. So you're trying to say, right, that, okay, no, I haven't, let's get there. Let's get there. I am blown away by this one. Anyway, now, WhatsApp has been using the microphone in the background while I was asleep. This is from Dabiri, right? And since I woke up at 6 a.m., and that's just a part of the timeline. What's going on? He wrote on Twitter. Twitter boss and eccentric billionaire Elon Musk boosted the post last night saying WhatsApp cannot be trusted. I can't believe I have to agree with Elon Musk on anything, but I really do right now. Okay. Now, the Meta-owned messaging app is the most popular in the world, used by an eye-watering 2 billion people. However, Jan LeCun, chief AI scientist at Meta, quickly chimed in to squash concerns that WhatsApp is spying on its users. Dude, it's an Android bug, he wrote. Really? First of all, Meta has already proven themselves to be wholly untrustworthy and to lie without any form of guilt or compunction whatsoever, right? We already know that about Meta. So I don't know why you think, based on your word, anyone would ever trust you. You want to prove that you're trustworthy, Meta. Finally own up to something that we already know you're doing. Now, both WhatsApp and Google have since confirmed that it is a cyber flaw affecting Android services. What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? At this point, they have no choice but to double down. They have no choice. We believe this is a bug on Android that misattributes information in their privacy dashboard and have asked Google to investigate and remediate, WhatsApp wrote in a statement on Twitter. Do you see the phrasing here? This is so shady. This is so shady. Now, this is the important part to know, okay? They say users have full control over their mic setting. Once granted permission, WhatsApp only accesses the mic when a user is making a call or recording a voice note or video. And even then, these communications are protected by end-to-end encryption, so WhatsApp cannot hear them. A Google spokesperson said, "We are aware of the issue and are working closely with WhatsApp to investigate." Musk's comment comes as he prepares to roll out encrypted messaging on Twitter tomorrow, a feature which historically set WhatsApp apart from other messaging services. Encryption is when data such as text messages are scrambled into a code to prevent unauthorized access, which in WhatsApp's case is everyone except the sender and the recipient. So even if WhatsApp was recording audio while users slept, all sound bites are encrypted so they cannot be accessed by WhatsApp or anyone else. Now, here's the thing. The encryption, it couldn't connect it back to me, certainly, right? But could it be farmed as information? Could they use it to sell us stuff? Yeah. Do you know how I know that they're listening to us, though? Because... And people don't realize this, right? I mean, you realize that if you search for something on Google or whatever, right, that all of a sudden all of your preferences, all of your ads preferences change to that thing you just searched, right? They know exactly what you're thinking. But what a lot of people don't realize, because they're so connected to their phone, is that you don't actually have to type anything in about this new interest. You could just have a conversation with someone. If your phone's in the room, your phone is on, your phone's in the room, you're having a phone conversation, or you're talking with the phone in the room. All of a sudden, you're going to start seeing advertisements towards that thing. It's crazy. It's happened to me before. I've noticed this before. See, most people, though, because everything we think, we tend to type it, we tend to message it, we tend to Google it, right? So we've never really noticed this. So no, 100%, they got caught. They got caught. And rather than just own up to it, they're turning around saying, oh, come on, dude, it's a bug. It's an Android bug. Come on, dude, you idiot. And then think about, these are like the biggest AI, biggest tech companies in the world, And then they're going, oh, well, we believe that it's a bug. We believe. Really? So now how do you check if WhatsApp accessed your microphone? Okay, well, WhatsApp likely has access to your microphone if you use the app to make phone calls, voice notes, or record videos. You can block this access if you're concerned about your privacy, which you always should be, but it should be noted that you won't be able to record any sound in WhatsApp if you do so. That's why I don't have WhatsApp, actually. Simply follow these steps. On your Android phone, open the settings app, tap apps, tap the app you want to change. If you can't find it, tap see all apps, then choose your app. Tap permissions. If you allowed or denied any permissions for the app, you'll find them there. Okay. Now to change a permission setting, tap it, then choose allow or don't allow. For microphone permissions, you may be able to choose allow only while using the app, ask every time, or don't allow. There have been no reports of this impacting Apple devices, but many iPhone owners can access their very own app privacy report, which tells you which apps are accessing your microphone, cameras, and location. And that's why it's not happening to iPhones, because they would have been immediately caught. Because iPhone doesn't allow things like this on their platforms. I mean, sure, I'm sure iPhone allows themselves to stalk their users, right? But they're not going to let WhatsApp do it. No, right? And that's why they're not. That's why it's only happening on Android. So y'all, just so you know, here's yet another way that these tech companies are spying on you, stealing your data, doing God knows what with it, including using it to manipulate you. So now you know. What do you think, Sal?
That is intense. But you kind of knew it. It's kind of thing you know, but you kind of like, you as an American, you start accepting. Like, okay, they all spying on me. Everybody know the TikTok situation where everybody like TikTok spying on you. Everybody like, y'all all spying me. Walmart know what I want. Every time I say I want a car, somehow the car insurance company putting an ad on Facebook. And that's kind of scary that it's becoming normalized, and it is scary that it's becoming normalized because everybody like, accept it. TikTok spying on me.
Yep.
They knew what I wanted to eat. I said I want some Wendy's, and all of a sudden the Wendy's app just pop up on my phone like, hey, do you want this special deal from Wendy's?
Right. Exactly. And I think that's the scary part. If you guys want to test this yourselves, right? Start talking about something that you guarantee you're not going to type or search in any other way. Just talk about it around various devices, right? So if you have an Alexa, Echo, whatever, around your phone, and you'll see, it'll start getting suggested to you anyway. And that's, oh, wait a minute. They are stalking us. They are literally listening. They're activating the mic so they can listen to you, so they can sell you stuff or whatever, right? Like, I'm not saying that their intentions necessarily malicious, but the point is they have no right to, right? Is you can't tell them, yeah, no, you can't spy on me when I give you the permission to use the mic. Like, you can't, unfortunately, there's no option for that.
Yeah, there isn't an option for that. That is wild. That is intense. Be careful if you don't want your information stolen. Be careful. And I want to speak on a brother who's upset too. I'm upset about the WhatsApp thing. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm upset too. But my brother's upset about a different reason. His name is Dr. Umar. And he's really upset.
I am totally against it, and I want to make sure you understand why. We have a name for it, the Snow Bunny Crisis.
Okay.
I am against the Snow Bunny Crisis. And I want your white listeners to understand. Because people be trying to say stuff like, he's the black Hitler. I'm not the black Hitler. I am in no way interested in hurting or harming the life of any human, white, Asian, Chinese. I believe in respecting everybody. The reason I'm against interracial marriage, Envy and Charlemagne, is because marriage is an economic contract. It's an economic contract. Most women do not marry down in status. They marry up. And if you don't believe me, show me a rich white woman married to a broke-ass black man. 100 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
Ooh. Y'all see? Did y'all see? Spiderman just came through. It's your boy Officer May, and we're here to talk about Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar seems to have a problem with Spider-Man. As y'all can see, he doesn't like the fact that our brother is being portrayed, aka Miles Morales is being portrayed as liking a white woman, a white young lady named Gwen. Now, of course, myself, listen, I'm for black women, 100%. That's my preference. That's my number one preference. Chocolate, more likely, light skin, red bone, all that. I love it. I love my black queens. Love you. However, I will announce that I don't have an automatic preference for this, right? As much as I say my preference and who I see myself with as black women, I might get an Asian one. I might get a Hispanic. I don't see it, I didn't get white. Just me. I'm saying might. Not saying I will, might. But my preference is black women. Why? Because I love our queens. I grew around black women. That's who I appreciate. That's who I love. However, I'm not this omnipotent person. I'm not this social justice warrior type dude who's like only black women, only. Who am I to tell you to love? I'm just a guy. My opinion doesn't really matter in life, right? Because who am I to tell somebody else how they feel or who they should love or who should they be with? I just have my preference of trying to build up the black family. And by the way, I even admitted just then that it might not be in the cards for me because I'm going with my heart. Whoever make my life better, I'm going with. And who is to say I can't do that? And also help the black people and black races and the black kids and do everything. You want to just shun everybody who do good for the black community and raise up the ones that do because they married a black man or married a black woman? Is that what we're doing? We're just praising people that marry black people, and even though they could be a detriment to the black community, versus the person who might have married Asian woman or Asian man and helping? That's my question. I want to present that to you. That's all I'm saying, Dr. Umar. That's all I'm saying. Maybe she makes him happy. Let me know y'all thoughts. Like and subscribe. Follow me. I'll be that. Hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me over on 99 Media. We do reviews. Over on 99 Entertainment, me and my boys just start talking about nonsense. Do all that. Back to the group. Ruby, go off, queen. Just know what you talking about, Dr. Umar. 500 lashes for conduct unbecoming of a black man.
Yeah, I don't even listen to Umar. Like when he starts speaking, my brain just starts listening to white noise. Like I don't even know what he said. I'm not even lying. This is the biggest charlatan ever. Why anyone takes this man seriously when he is proven he's a hypocrite. Y'all remember all of that Hotepin stripper situations and whatnot? Come on. Like there's a school for the donations, you know, he's taken steadily over decades. Then you can at least say, hey, he a little bit followed through, or how he starts using honest language, like the fact that he's a school psychologist with a master's degree instead of talking about the fact that he's a doctor of psychology, and further confusing the whole Black community and the few people who still trust him. I can't stand Umar. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? You tell me. I have no idea. No, I don't listen to Umar. I just can't be bothered.
Hey, listen. What he said is he's upset that Miles Morales is dating, or rumored to be dating, a young white other Spider Girl, Gwen. And he said that he should not portray black men as this. This is an agenda. 500 lashes. 500 lashes for conduct unbecoming of a black man.
See, look, my brain, as soon as you said Umar said, I stopped listening again. I'm sorry. I can't do it. But hey, listen, you know what? I really do feel like maybe, just maybe, if we just stop listening to Umar as a collective, maybe he'll go away.
That's why he's bringing up. I haven't heard from him in weeks until he brought up the Miles Morales thing. I didn't hear him about Ibn K. Williams, but that was like in the same podcast. So I guess he got his 2 clap chances out of this.
When we're talking about, you know, men these days and their dating prospects and them being just more successful at dating, become more successful at dating. Let's take a look. I'm on the fence about this one. Now, y'all, we've talked a little bit about AI on this channel before, and we've talked about the fact that everything that is a blessing can also be a curse. To be honest with you, I'm sitting on the fence on this one. I can't tell if this, what we were about to talk about right here, if this is a blessing or a curse or some combination of both. So y'all are going to have to help me figure that out. So let's take a look at who or what we're talking about. Meet Karen Marjorie. Okay, now Karen Marjorie is a Snapchat influencer, okay? And as a Snapchat influencer, she has millions and millions of followers on Snapchat, plus she's got hundreds of thousands of followers on other different platforms, okay? And she is beloved. And she said, she thought about it and she realized that even though, you know, she loves all of her subscribers, she wants to be there for all of them, it is literally impossible for her to have a personal, deep, one-on-one relationship with millions of people. So she came up with a solution. We've all heard of ChatGPT before, right? Well, using the same technology, Karen Marjorie and her management and whatever, well, they have now unveiled a ChatGPT powered AI doppelganger of Karen. Okay. Now, it only costs a little $1 a minute to engage with this AI version of Karen. Okay. And we want to be clear that the intention was for her to basically be a friend, maybe even a girlfriend, but definitely nothing erotic. And then, of course, an update that would surprise absolutely nobody. When people started testing it out, they figured out that while her AI doppelganger would not engage in sexual conversation, like it would not start the sexual conversation, it was very, very easy to get the AI doppelganger to not only respond to sexual suggestions, but also for it to get quite raunchy with the words and the things that the AI image was doing, shall we say. Now, what ended up happening, right, is, like I said, she said, I honestly think this is all cap, but fine, right? So she said that the intention was never for her AI self to be sexual. They were caught by Fortune magazine, who decided to test out the merchandise and found out, oh, wait a minute, again, quite sexual. We were talked about this, right? And so now they're owning it. Instead, well, no, they're not owning that they originally did this from the start, obviously. You know, there's already 5,000 people signed up. 99% of them are men. We know this is what it was, okay? But what they're saying is now, right, that Karen AI is adaptive and works to meet a user's needs, and that they as a team are restructuring what it can and can't do. Now, what's interesting is she then says, well, one of the first things her fans did and early users did was to push it past its limits. But obviously, there was no limits there. You can't push something past a limit. Okay, anyway. Now, they do say that the data is actually encrypted on both ends to keep the intimate correspondences safe from all breaches. Take that for what it's worth in this day and age. Now, even though she is now admitting to the erotica side of things and the obvious purchase to girlfriend concept, they are still admitting that the chat has gone rogue. Now, what additional limits has this ChatGPT AI bot thing crossed? We don't know. They're not letting us know, probably because then everyone would do it, right? People are terrible. All right, y'all. So let's listen to an average person, guy, right, interact with Karen AI. Let's see if for you, this parasocial relationship on steroids would meet your needs for a simple $1 an hour. Or sorry, $1 a minute.
You know, for some reason, this song came into my head, and it's the worst song ever, but it's like the official song of Vacation, that I Had the Time of My Life song. I don't even know who sings it. We're talking like the 80s. So I'm going to go over there, put it on, and hopefully you'll still want to talk to me when it's all done.
Haha, Joel, you have a great sense of humor. I think it's an excellent idea. I know the song you're talking about, and I'm sure it will add a fun and nostalgic vibe to our experience. Let's head over to the jukebox and see if that song is available. I'm excited to hear it and enjoy this moment together. Playing cheesy songs and feeling the breeze in our hair, there's nothing better than this.
There really isn't, is there? Okay, so let's take a look, and what do you know? It has it. So we're going to put that on. What do you know? And I'm going to queue up another one when that one finishes. How about that song Lowrider? That sounds really cool. You know, it's got that Mexican kind of feel since we're eating tacos.
Lowrider sounds like a great choice, Joel. The song has such a cool and catchy tune that fits perfectly with the Mexican vibe and our taco feast. I'm really excited to enjoy our food, sip on margaritas, and groove to some good music while we take in this beautiful beach atmosphere. Thanks for suggesting these amazing songs and adding the ultimate touch to our date night.
It's my pleasure. All right, so...
Okay, and so that basically in a nutshell, it illustrates, for me, right? It illustrates exactly why I'm sitting on the fence on this one, okay? Do I think that people can and definitely do benefit from being able to use these chat bots, right? To get feedback, to be able to practice skills and whatnot? Absolutely. But it's worrisome when the chat bot is basically fulfilling incorrect narratives in their head about what a woman who's into you would act like, how she would respond. Just even like the fact that it's very clear that she's using words, right? The ChatGPT bot is using words and language that Karen, the real person, doesn't use in real life. You don't just start using a larger, wider vocabulary with all these different words just because you're dating someone who speaks like that, right? And so, like, to me, if it was, I don't know how harmful that's going to be. I think it's pretty harmful as it is to just people having these discussions in these spaces. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but just having the discussions in these spaces and giving out this illogical, irrational advice that doesn't line up with reality, I think is already incredibly harmful. So, do I think, the practice is helpful? Do I think that, having the experience of just being able to speak to who you think is an incredibly gorgeous woman, without just shutting down, do I think that might be useful? Yes. Do I see where the harm could come in? Pretty much in all these other places? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm right on the fence on this one. Zal, what do you think?
Listen, shout out to all my lonely brothers out there who's getting terrible advice from a bunch of internet dudes who sits on the internet and argue for 45 minutes. I don't know. Hey, listen, This is what they do now. They argue for 45 minutes online with each other in a group in the echo chamber, screaming and yelling about nonsense. So now they done went past the passport bros and they found the AI girls, and they're very happy. By the way, this is not totally new because you always had the call girl, but you really talk to a real girl because, especially if you like on the old BET channels, they'll just have randomly play one of those things. I was wondering why they would ever play this, and who would ever call to see if it was real. Like, hey, it's a real thing. Listen, it's a man right now that's bald headed and almost in prison right now for playing these same schemes. So, but this is way more advanced. This is legal. He should have just waited a few years. He would have had a whole game going. Ruby, how you feel?
We keep talking about AI and the uses of AI, right? And it's like, okay, so this is definitely a legal use of AI. It's a little different than the Pokemon story, right? Because at the Pokemon story, they stole her image without consent, and then they're selling it without her consent, nor is she that's a little different than the influencers saying, I want to do this. I want to sell my image and da 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 da, right? But then, it's kind of like, why are these spaces sometimes harmful also? Because they are giving the wrong impression to young men who he real good woman's about. That's really how women think. That's how women behave. That's how a good supportive woman would act if they disagreed with me. And it's like, you're just reinforcing these negative stereotypes, and guys go out there and talk to real girls in the world, then they're going to be super confused, right? Because those girls aren't going to act like that. The guys are just going to shut down because they don't know what to do now. How do you deal with objections? I think that's really the issue. It's like, we need some more reality in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, we need a little more reality. So let's talk to a real woman and how she feels. Her name is, of course, Ruby Rose. And of course, I put in somebody at the beginning that Ruby likes. So we had to put her in because we got to get her opinion too on this subject. Very interesting subject. I want to hear about y'all. I want to hear about y'all in chat. I want to hear from y'all. So let me know. Let's get started.
Benefit to the men. Like, what? Genuinely.
Howdy. I'm out on the pursuit for the woman. You know what Ruby Rose said? Ruby Rose said men should pursue women. I agree. Men should pursue women. But let's talk about it. Let's go over it a little bit. Let's go over it. Here's the mess tweet right here. She says, men should be the pursuer of women. That's how it's always been. Men are the chasers. Men go get what they want. They are the pursuer of the woman they want. Women should not be the one in pursuit of men. 2023, that is kind of different. Let me respond to her. Let's go the opposite of what I think for a minute. Let's respond to that. It is the Me Too era. A lot of brothers have been like, you harassing me. You get a little shy. Sometimes the woman, I might do a little flirt from a distance. And you got to hit me with that okay. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's getting scary out here. It's getting scary. It's getting scary. I'm out here saying, trying to speak to you. You got attitude. You just got to work. You upset. Now I'm harassing you. So it makes it harder to pursue.
Kind of give you some perspective. Modern women find 80% of men as unattractive.
I'm just putting that out there. It's a lot of sedated women. It's a lot of women who not into that, right? They like, I don't want to be bothering them at the store. I don't know when I'm gonna see you again. But I'm gonna respect it. So now you gotta give me, I'm gonna give you a look. You gotta give me a look back. You know what I'm saying? When I see you, I'm gonna give you a smirk, you smirk back. Okay, I can approach. At that point, this is where we at. But I get why brothers are kind of like, listen, I'm not into that no more. I ain't the dude that's sitting on the back of the car at the gas station. Yeah, hey. And then when you leave and no answer, I call you stupid. That ain't me. I'm respect, but hey, I get why my brothers and they feel a little entitled. The way y'all be talking on Twitter, the way y'all doing in there, the brother can be scared. If you just not him, just saying the brother can't be afraid. Me, dude, I like to take the hint, but I usually get the hint, so I know okay, I can slide right. But to a point, men should pursue. It's in our nature, right? If men stop pursuing, they lack ambition. That's how I feel about life. If a man stop pursuing, he lacks ambition. You should always have ambition. As a man, you should always go for what you want. Right now, I'm not really pursuing because I'm pursuing something else. And that's perfectly fine too. Listen, we're gonna talk about vasectomies and all that to be high amen. No. Have self-control. Do what you gotta do. And I understand the world is a scary place. But y'all gotta be pursuers. You gotta pop your chest a little bit. You gotta hit the cross and just go for it sometimes. You gotta shoot. You missed 100% of the shots you don't shoot. I'm encouraging you to get that form right. Elbow in, jump shot, boom. You know what I'm saying? Because if it don't flick, it don't work. Let me know your thoughts. Men are pursuers. Yes or no. Let me know your thoughts on scariness of the situation now. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'll be that overall 99 media, overall 99 entertainment, overall 99 anime, anything overall 99. It's me, your boy, Laugh as I may. Back to y'all. I'm taking this hat off. Tired of pursuing. The jungle is wild.
Oh, if you're talking, I cannot hear you, Sal.
Oh, Ruby, should men pursue?
I think the thing is that that question is almost irrelevant. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because if men are asking that question, they're at a place where they should be. That is to say, right? Because, like, for example, if you are not confident enough, you don't have all of your ducks in a row, right? Then you're not going to feel like pursuing. You're going to lack that confidence. You're going to lack that drive and that motivation. It's because you have more important things you need to do. Namely, you have to self-actualize. So, and once you've self-actualized as a man, or not, because those men pursue what they want and what they need. That's part of self-actualizing. If you're asking that question or saying women should do it too, whatever, you just haven't self-actualized. That's it. Like it's not even like a debate to me. And anyone who keeps acting like it's a debate, what they're doing is they're trying to negotiate the adult world for a bunch of teenagers. Teenagers are teenagers. They're not ready for adulthood. That's why they're called teenagers, right? They're growing. Let's stop trying to make a 18-year-old boy who's not that popular. It doesn't work that way.
He's kind of going in and out. Voice is catching up. It's very interesting. Hello, Ruby?
Hi.
I was just making sure your voice caught up and then it slowed down and it caught up and I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. So, okay. But I agree with Ruby. Listen, once you be in that position, you can go for it. Go for it. 100%. Always go and try to pursue. When you're in that place, you are able to pursue. I saw a podcast last night. They were telling you about logistics and everything. It is. It's people there. But a lot of you do lack confidence. You do lack other things. It is what it is. But we do have a debate. Let's go to our new.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. On my side, it's not. So I don't know why it's transmitting that way. On my side, everything looks fine. Perfect. I don't know. Like everything on my side is fine, and then you guys, it's not fine for you. I don't know. I don't know what to do because I don't know why it's not fine exactly. Mm-hmm.
Char, do you hear everything fine? Okay. Y'all hear me? I just want to make sure everybody hear me. Is everything good? Do y'all hear Ruby good? I was just trying to fix something behind the scenes, see if we got
No,
it
like
fixed.
literally no one hears me. We already know that much, so it's fine.
Okay. Okay. But you sound pretty good right now, even though you're behind on the screen. So Ruby, talk a little bit to see.
Well, well, yeah, I'm behind. Like I can see I'm behind also. So
Okay, they're saying they can hear both of us. Let's try to get through this. Just let me know when you can stop or whatever. I don't know what's going on with all these programs, but we're gonna try. And we're gonna try to get guests in and everyone. We might even put Ruby on the StreamYard too and see if that works, but we'll see.
maybe I should just click restart connection. I don't know. Would that be a bad thing to click in the Video Ninja?
Exit out the other browser. I didn't want people to hear that, but but we do like the podcast. Do hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We did have we having a few technical issues. You know, Ruby seems to be okay right now. It seems because I haven't heard no yawning. I'm just trying to catch up. Oh, she looks. Ruby, speak. See if it's back caught up.
Hi.
Oh, it's still way behind. It is way behind now. That is weird.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even speaking. You ain't spoken like a minute and a half. Okay. But yeah, hit the restart and let's see if we can get it back.
Okay.
We are having a little technical difficulties, but we're getting it fixed. We're gonna try to see.
Well, yeah. In the meantime, I'll say maybe just drop the StreamYard link, so people can call in and we can play the video. And yeah, we'll do that.
Yes, let's do the not the window captures. Do the StreamYard link. So anybody want to talk about? You do gotta love it sometimes. So let's get into it. We're about to drop the call.
That means also, since you made me close it, then that you're gonna need to pull up that the new one, the new stream, and then target it to the Rose actual answer, since you made me close it. Because now I don't have it, obviously.
Do you have a timestamp?
No, because it was like they did the chapters, so it's a chapter that's basically timestamp. So if you go to the chapters, it says what is a high value man is the timestamp basically in the chapters.
We about to send the link in chat, so anybody want to drop through, it is the StreamYard link. So, and this is the screen y'all will be on. Shout out to y'all.
Okay, I'm back to being like 4 seconds delayed, which is an improvement. It's good.
It is an improvement. But anybody want to join, just hit that link. We are talking about the Destiny Sneako debate with Rolo and whoever. Ruby, I think we can hear you good, even though you're behind, but I think we can hear you pretty well.
Well, yeah, okay. So we will really very much appreciate you guys also coming. This is obviously like beta testing for us. We would like to do multiple different days of the week, right? And so one of our ideas is to keep, our dedicated news day on Thursdays, but then also to have a day on, it's going to be Monday after the first couple of weeks. It's going to be every Monday where we do a short news segment, like maybe an hour. And then the second part is dedicated to us having more of an open discussion, including a call in where people can call in, either tell us why we wrong about this subject or anything else we've covered. And, we can answer or, just have an open debate, open discussion. So yeah, we love it and speak y'all's piece. We had to do Tuesday this week because yesterday we ran some issues, and then next week we ran into a scheduling conflict, and then thereafter it's going to be Mondays and Thursdays. So thank you guys very much for showing up for the impromptu thing. We we weren't intentionally super behind in our planning and whatever, but we wanted to make sure we still tried. So guys, thank you for calling in if you can, just so you can help us make things better, right? So
yeah, so the StreamYard link is there, and whenever somebody wants to join, we're gonna play the link in a minute when I get everything straight on this end, because some reason my things changed, but it's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna click now. I don't know what will happen. I'm gonna click restart connection. Okay. It's gonna be terrible, and fingers crossed. Thanks.
We are joined by Char Willie. Shout out to Char.
Hey, Char. Can she hear us?
I don't know. She's muted right now. So whenever she unmute, we'll be ready to go.
Oh, I'm clicking restart connection. Nothing is actually happening. So I don't know if that's because nothing's happening or because it doesn't do bad things. Oh, Char said no sound. Oh, she can't hear us.
Okay, let me.
Okay.
Let me put my mic on for you. Hey, Char.
Wait. Does that mean she can't hear me then because I'm not in there?
Yes, you have to join in there, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't have enough problems with technology today. What did she say? She said.
Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now.
She only hears on the YouTube side, but not on the StreamYard.
Oh, now I hear you.
Okay, there you go. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
We can't hear Char.
I'm about to move it over for you to hear. Okay. How are you? She can't hear you though, Ruby. So you have to get in there. But
yeah.
Have you seen the Rolo?
No, but we can't hear Char either. Like I can't hear Char right now, which means probably the show can't hear Char, right?
No, they can hear her. You got to just get in the room.
Okay, I heard you ask me, have I heard the Rolo, and there was nothing behind that.
Can you hear me now, Char?
No,
I can hear her. Okay.
You got to be in that. You got to be in that room to be able to hear her, so she can hear you too. But yeah, we haven't. She's behind, so it's throwing. The thing is behind, so it's having a little technical issues. But we getting it.
No worry. I came up here to help out with the technical issues. I can at least do that.
It is the first guest show. I appreciate it. But how did you feel about the subjects today? What we talked about?
Well, I look into that is just that I look into that. I'm so tired of people doing the wrong thing, and that's the answer. I call it the corporate answer. We'll look into that. I'm so tired of that. So what I started doing when stuff happened, I come up with a solution for them and put them on the spot. So that's been working out for me last decade or so.
Oh, yeah. We had the Dr. Umar. How did you feel about the Spiderman Dr. Umar story?
He's a clown. That's for sure. He is a clown. You could talk on a microphone in a particular setting and say what you don't want to happen. But why don't you show us that you don't want it to happen by going to, I don't know, an NBA game and go talk to some of those players and say, hey, you all don't need these wives and girlfriends. I don't appreciate it. And see what happens.
Yeah, that's what he telling. He telling Miles Morales. He's telling everyone that they should go. You shouldn't date this. It's hurting our culture. And my whole thing is, who am I to tell somebody? Like, for instance, I said in the video, my preference is black women. Only thing I can see myself with is that I'm not even gonna say that's 100% true, but I do know that that is a preference for me. And it's fine. I think that's good. I think that's helpful. But there's like multiple situations in which I think you can actively hurt something you trying to help. And I think it's a lot of times he ends up hurting things. Instead of helping like the school and everything, even if he's trying to help, I think the school and everything, I think it's sometimes hurtful.
His personal views, it has nothing to do with his business. So keep that separate. We don't need to hear about that. And no one is, how can I say it? Everyone has their opinion. That's fine. But give it only maybe when you're asked. That might be helpful. But I don't know. He probably just want the attention. That kind of helps out more eyeballs. So then he can ask for them donation. Hit the link. Hit the cash app. Support the show.
Yeah. I remember didn't he have that gambling experience in which he was just telling people to send money so he can gamble so he can get to school?
Yeah, that was ridiculous too.
I've never done this before.
Where do you get these people at? But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Once the smartphone came out, we just started doing a whole lot of dumb things.
Yeah, but I like I said, he up here like it's a fictional character. He's half Puerto Rican, half black. He was on it, and it was really hard. I felt like he was like it was weird because I'm like, why do you care so much? He's already a mixed kid, so him dating whoever he wants is fine. But at the same time, I get it. I get his message because you want that black family stronger. And I do agree with that. I do think the black family should be stronger. But at the same time, it's like the way you go about it. You know what I mean, Shaw?
Well, you can make it stronger. You have a family yourself and have a lot of kids, and there you go.
Like Nick Cannon.
There you go. Action instead of just talking. You can't make anybody produce children. Oh, won't you do this or date this person or that person?
Shark, can you hear me?
What you gonna do? Walk up to the person? Hey, I don't appreciate that.
You gotta unmute in the StreamYard.
What? Huh? Who?
You gotta unmute in StreamYard.
Oh, I'm muted in StreamYards. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me, Shar?
Let me get that double off.
Yes.
Welcome. I finally get to invite Shar to my channel and my show after so many years of being on hers. Yay! I'm so excited. It's like a total disaster though, because I hear myself echoing in my ears, and I hear you like 3 times when you talk, Shar. But it's okay. We're getting there.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I will say this to you. At least you'll hear it 3 times. Happy birthday, Janet Jackson.
Yes, girl, yes. That's right. My very much singing Janet Jackson deserves birthday wishes.
See, I said her name just like you like it.
You did, right? And I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
For those of y'all who don't know, right, Shar and I have a radio show called Keep the Beat. And Shar likes to be a hater when it comes to certain people, especially Janet. I won't repeat the blasphemousness she says about my Janet, but it's terrible, y'all. It's terrible. It's traumatic almost even. So I appreciate you for coming up onto our show and being respectful to the legend, Janet.
I'm a lady.
Oh no. Okay. So really quickly, I don't want to interrupt the conversation too much, but there's also everything. I hear my voice double. I hear Shar double. I don't hear you double at all. So
I'm
what do I
muted
do
and
to fix
I'm
this
muted in Google Meet,
situation?
so you don't hear me double. The screen don't hear y'all double anymore, so probably you can
That's
mute.
good.
You can probably mute on your phone if you're on your phone.
I'm not on my phone.
Oh, well, you can mute. You can mute Char on here, I think, or you can mute like whoever the guest in here and just take the audio out. Then you can hear it through the link. Oh, I don't have to do this no more since you're already in here, but you won't be able to hear.
Okay. How do I do that?
I'll fix it real quick. Well, we ain't got to do that no more. Shut this tab. You shouldn't hear it twice anymore. I think I fixed it.
Oh. Okay, Shar, say something, please.
Happy birthday, Janet Jackson.
Yes. Yes. That is much better. Much better. Yes, I like it. Yes.
So we got.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. You still hear yourself twice?
No, I'm good now.
Okay.
Everything's great. I am excited. We have this set up. Shar, you are our first guest. I'm so excited.
No worries. I wanted to at least come out and help out a little bit because I do know when it comes down to the sound, you need somebody, especially when it's live. I mean, you can do all the testing you want behind the scenes, but it's totally different when you're live. So.
Oh yes, ma'am. We did get together and test this yesterday. So like we just went, we'll just try tomorrow. Like no, we do actually, like even sometimes days or weeks in advance. We're sitting there testing everything, and then you go live, and it's like you missed some factor. You didn't know that you missed it till you get there and you missed it, and then it's like, okay, well it's fine. Like today, like you guys don't understand. We were sitting there fixing the blurry camera issue and the I'm delayed issue. We don't even know where the issue came from. And then somehow or another we go live and that's it. I'm blurry and delayed. And that's just how it's gonna be today. I apologize, y'all. We're trying to give you guys high quality stuff. We really are.
No worries. As long as we hear you, I guess that's the main thing.
True. That is true. So now I have a question for you, Shar. Did you have anything you wanted to see? Our discussion piece, what we wanted to talk about, right, is the whole entire fiasco that's been going on for days, evolving Sneeko, Destiny, Rolo, Fresh and Fit, and the whole high value man discussion, right? Where originally, because Rolo sent this text out suggesting that the fastest way to become a high value man was to not create a baby and to get a vasectomy and to not create a family. Those were his first like three. And then when he finally came up to address it directly, he wouldn't answer what he believed a high value man was. And he said it was irrelevant to his definition and whatever. And so, they went on this whole PR campaign basically, right? And yesterday's stream, I thought it was going to be great. It wasn't great. It looked like they spent like literally weeks, or at least the entire weekend, trying to fix Rolo. So they gave him a good answer so he can answer what is a high value man. They let him answer first so he wouldn't forget, right? And then they didn't let him say a word. And they brought some other dude to come and speak for him. And he was just like like he just sat there and nodded the whole time. But I don't know. Did you watch any of this or do you have any commentary you would like to give about it?
I watched none of that, but listening to what you just said, it sounds as if the guy was used as a puppet. He's used as a person so they can get views. That's what it sounds like. If they told him what to say, allowed him to say it, and then he couldn't, or I guess couldn't say anything else, and had other people to talk, then they just used him for views. That was it. That was his, I guess maybe he agreed to that.
You know what? I think, well, because, okay, so the godfather of the Black manosphere, right, was Kevin Samuels, but the godfather of the manosphere, the white manosphere, all manosphere, whatever, way before that was Rollo Tomasi. So, people like Fresh and Fit have been giving this Rollo Tomasi guy mad props like he was like somebody. And Rollo Tomasi's been sitting there in his little dungeon in the corner, complaining that everyone is giving Kevin Samuels and other bigger names more credit when he's the one who invented everything. And he invented like this book series called The Rational Male or whatever. And so it's like the way he sees it is none of the discussion in the manosphere would exist without him. But most people don't really know who he is unless you're in like the white manosphere and the MGTOW incel kind of white sector. So I don't know. I think maybe, Rollo was saying like how no one would dare ever debate him, blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
And so what's happened this year is a lot of people have been debating him and paying attention to what he's saying. And what we've figured out is, so like sign language, right? The shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Everything they say, about the average modern Black woman.
Uh-huh.
That's Rollo Tomasi. He deflects. He does not answer simple, basic questions. He refuses to just define the parameters of what he's saying and why he's saying it. I mean, it's almost it's embarrassing. I've never even seen such a bad showing, and Shar, we've seen a lot of bad showings in these spaces over the years. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm thinking more what you've just said. He may not want to be held to it because now it's like the person, the crybaby that want attention. I created this and me. You get through crying, then when you get the attention, it's not something you can handle. And I think that's what happened because people are recording and they're pulling up. Oh, you said this. Oh, you said that. Well, yesterday you said this. Well, last week on your show, 2 years ago, right here, we got this video. And it's not lining up. So because of that, he has to still get some attention. The baby still needs a little attention. So you prop him up on stage, you let him say a few words, and then he don't have to say anything else. So he gets his attention, he said a few words, and the show goes on. And I'm thinking that's what that is.
That's a really good point. And I would 100% believe it because that's the thing. A lot of these guys, like their entire bread and butter is like the victim narrative, but like the victim narrative works so well because people are lazy. No one really calls them out, right? Or like points out like the truth. They just kind of let it ride, right? All of their supporters just believe them, and everyone else doesn't care enough about what they're saying to fact check that information. But Destiny has been a thorn in the manosphere's side because unlike most people, when someone says there's research that proves this and no one ever looks it up, right? Destiny does.
Yeah, and if you mess with the millennials, you get in trouble.
There's true facts. It reminds me of me before I gave up, honestly, because I used to come with the facts and the research and be like, yeah, but guys, the research, that's not what the research says. Right? But I was a woman, so they could dismiss me, right? And the greatest part is that towards the end of the first showing, Destiny said to Rollo, he said, yeah, not so easy when it's not just some woman who is unprepared and has drank a lot on FNF, right? It's not so easy anymore, is it, Rollo, when you have a man who's coming and he's prepared and you can't just kick him off because you don't like what he said. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, well, you sure told them. But I think the biggest surprise, and I want to know your take on this, is Sneeko. Because Sneeko was on Destiny's side. In fact, Sneeko is the one who started this, and he's the one who called out Rollo's tweet to begin with as being fallacious. And he stayed the entire time saying, what is wrong with the entire manosphere, with the red pill dudes? And we're going to say who else said that in a second too. But, what is wrong with these dudes? And Sneeko's very anti the tweet. And also anti a lot of this like red pill talking points. And I mean, obviously he was so pro all the red pill talking points. not that long ago. So what do you think has brought up about this change with Sneeko?
Now, I'm not familiar with him at all, so
Okay.
that one I couldn't comment on. I seen a picture of him a few times, but that's it. Now, can't tell you what his voice sounds like or anything. So I haven't heard him, but you said he was on one side and then he switched over. So, yeah, I don't really
He
know
did
about.
convert to Islam.
Yes, he did. He used to yell and scream a lot, Shar, say, "You're a bot, everyone's a bot, you're a bot, everyone's a bot." And he's the one who got banned off of everything for basically saying that this content creator, Chad, that basically she should be backhanded and we'll say had sex without her permission. Pretty much. She was like mimicking it and whatever to shut her feminist ideals. And that's what, and then like literally all of like the big people on that side of BreadTube, they went and basically like Nick is not green even did a video saying we need to get this man removed from this platform. So like it was a big thing. But he was very like he had a discussion with Abba and Preach once, and Abba said, "Dude, I understand why you as a young man, why you're so hyper focused on sleeping with women, right? And why that's super important to you. And you think variety is a slice of life. But, you know, I was like, dude, now that like I'm like 10 years older than that, like, trust me, like, nah, it's not like I'm about something different now. And this wasn't that long ago. It's like last year. And Sneeko said, oh, well, that's just because you're old and you know your D don't work or whatever because you're 40s now. Like that was basically what he was saying. Like he just refused to believe what any of the 40, late 30s, early 40s guys were saying. Like, dude, sex is not always going to be the number one priority. And Sneeko wouldn't buy it. And now you have Sneeko, like less than a year later, sitting there and mocking these guys for pretty much the exact same beliefs he had like less than a year ago. It was something to see. It really was.
He's very young too, right?
Yes. Do you know exactly? Does anyone know exactly how old he is? I think he's like
he's 23.
Oh my God, he's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. And I will say this, Nico's super talented. I didn't know anything about him until after he already went idiot red pill. But when after that, they started doing all these different videos about him. And so I got to see what his old content used to be. And at that point, that's when I was like, oh, wow, this dude, he used to do some really deep, insightful, and he must have been like a teenager, like 16, 17, 18 at the time, where he was doing like these documentaries and he was being really raw and open and honest and admitting stuff that like most people don't even come to till their 30s. And I was like, wow, why didn't he stick on this path? Because I would have supported this content creator. This is impressive to me, right? It seems like maybe he's going over there. Biggie says in the chat that he doubts that he's actually Muslim. I would have doubted all of these guys, and I do doubt the majority. But Sneeko's showing in the last few days has given me pause. I don't know. This seems like that would be a valid reason for why we see this sudden change in Sneeko, right? Like he's actually Muslim now. He's traveled all over the world to various Muslim states. And he's spoken to those people. He sees their priorities different. He sees their lives are different and better. And he's connected more. Like he carries his Quran with him. Like everywhere he goes, he's dressing differently. He's speaking. He's holding. He looks more grown manish. Like he's sitting up. He's got the button down, and I don't know. It seems to me like he's grown up a little bit. It really does. I don't know.
The link is in the chat if anyone want to join on this discussion. So there it is. Thanks, Shar, for joining us. By the way, for more context, Shar, he started out as a person who made those videos through Call of Duty. He did those things. He was seen by Mr. Beast, a guy who was growing at the time, now the biggest YouTuber on the planet. And Mr. Beast saw him and said, I want you to work with me. We can make something big happen. He worked for Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast said he didn't work hard, so he let him go. He make a diss track on Mr. Beast trying to get views. he didn't. It backfired. He came back, made some more. Then he started doing street videos because he saw that was getting popular. And then once he did street interviews, he started seeing the pickup artist people started getting on. He does that. He speaks on the pickup artist. All of a sudden, he sees the Andrew Tates, whom he dissed before. He did it like, oh, this is bad news. This is horrible news. This guy is bad. Whoever talks to women like this. Then he kind of becomes Andrew Tate in a way, and then follows him around the country. Then Andrew Tate becomes Muslim. He decides to become Muslim. Again, I don't want to go over what his religion is, if he really believe it. Maybe he followed him and then fell in love with it and actually like it. I have no clue about that. But he tends to be not a leader type, but a follower type. So he tends to go from top person to top person and tries to emulate what they do. Even though I do like when he's open and thinking, because he does have interesting ideas, even if I totally disagree with him, even if I think that's absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, personally, I'm hoping that this is what he really feels and that's how he goes. But again, history tells me he chases kind of what's the direction it's going. We even got we even have a tweet. I'm gonna show the Rolo tweet soon.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a tweet from, let's go get it real quick. Here it go. We have a tweet from, why is it not?
See now, Biggie Boss, you need to come up and have this discussion, because I'm not Muslim, right? So for me to comment on this would be difficult. I've watched a few people talk about, well, not so much Nico's conversion. They were talking about Andrew Tate's conversion or lack thereof. And a lot of the Muslim guys who cover this say the worst thing in the world you can do is accuse someone of being basically a fake Muslim, or say that they're not being true. So you have to be very, very sure that they're not Muslim, ahead of time. Here's the thing. For me, I know a lot of, who I deem to be fake Muslims online. Some, especially on the female side, some hood rats and hijabs and whatnot. And, I think that the behavior and the lack of the connection to the Muslimness and what they're supposed to be practicing speaks for itself. Sneeko, when he was converting, he was basically dabbling at the beginning, you could see, and nothing changed. If he had just miraculously changed,
Ruby froze. I think she is out of it. I think she completely froze now. All right, hopefully she'll be back soon. I feel you, Biggie. See, you want to feel into games and stuff, but I understand what you're saying. Hopefully we'll get Ruby back shortly. I think it just went kaput finally completely now. But I get what you're saying. By the way, people that don't know, shout out to my guy Biggie. He my plug, but I don't know what happened to her. Let's see if she's in this other room. Let's get over here. Ruby? I think we lost her. Hopefully she'll be back soon. But again, this is the tweet. We'll get Ruby back shortly, but here's the tweet. They called him a red pillar. This is what one of the topics was. Tristan Tate said, please don't refer to me as red pill. Those people are autistic. Also, as a half black man descended from slaves, I find your choice of example in very poor taste. I don't need people to evenly loosely liken me to apartheid politicians who want to lynch blacks. Thanks. So this is how the taste is. They are totally against red pill right now. I don't know. Like, it just became like they are completely against it, even though they were known as the essential fathers of this sector. But now they are completely gone. When Sneeko removes his tattoos, maybe I'll start believing. Let's see if he does it. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, we would love it, but Biggie, we not pressure, but we would love your conversation. But thank you for being in the chat. Remember to like and subscribe. Ruby, you're no longer even in the StreamYards anymore. You froze and then you got kicked out of a lot of things. Yeah, you got kicked out. Let me say it. So you got. So maybe Ruby can hear me now, but yeah, he said, please don't refer to me, Red Pill. So yeah, that's what happened. We also got the other subject of what's going on. We have another one. Let's go get this one real quick. This is this tweet that started it all. I don't know how it got so big, but it got big. So here we go. The quickest path to becoming a high value man. Everybody in chat, this is what the topic is. Let me add Ruby back. Okay, you can unmute your mic and hear Ruby, then everybody can hear you again once you unmute it. But yeah, so basically, this is the big topic of the day: the quickest path to becoming a high value man. Do not get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. This is Rollo Tomasi, one of the guys who we talking about, the grandfather of Red Pill, the manosphere, whatever you want to call it. Eliminate all sedations. Learn game and networking. Play to your strengths. Build wealth. Resist easing up on your focus. Ruby, there you go. Hello? Ruby?
Yeah, me unmuting my mic might help you hear me, but I still can't hear anything you're saying, Zal. So hopefully you can at least hear me say this, but I can't hear you at all. So
you still can't hear me? Hello?
Shar was our good luck charm, y'all. Hello? If you can hear me, I'm saying Shar was our good luck charm.
Your audio might be off on. You might have to change your audio on the thing. Let me see. I'll do it in Meet. Hello? You hear me now?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah, everything went red and you just cut off and everything froze. I don't know what happened with that.
Oh.
I'm talking about on your end that the little bar went completely red and I almost kicked you out, but I said no.
Well, you should have told me because I didn't know. So yeah, like if you don't tell me, how would I know that?
Didn't I tell you in the group chat?
No.
I did, but I might have wrote it in this thing.
Now you're echoing double. Suddenly.
So now you can hear me again. Hello now. How about now?
Okay. Now you're good, I think. Go ahead again.
It's strange. Okay. Everything just breaking. But yeah, I got the tweet up. I was telling people what the tweet was saying. Rollo Tomasi, the quickest path to becoming a high value man. We're gonna see if Ruby agrees. Anybody want to come up? You can come up right now as we go through these 8 things. So
yes, I want to just encourage Biggie in case he's just listening. Okay, yeah. I know that in most of these spaces, people want you, like, especially if they disagree with you, whatever, they want to come so they can debunk you and prove you wrong. And we're not trying to do all the contentious nonsense. We actually want intelligent or diverging opinions to actually just be expressed. So we're not going to sit there and come and be in some big old prove your religious politics, and we're not going to do that at all. I would just like to hear you explain it because like you clearly have like an informed opinion that I don't have. I'm Christian, right? My mom is a Christian pastor. Like that's my depth of knowledge, right? That in psychology. So because you have that depth of knowledge, I would love to hear from you. I promise it will not be a traumatic experience. But okay, sorry, go ahead, Zal.
But yeah, we do have the quickest pass to high value. Biggie come up. The link is in the description. Done tease it, anyone. I'm gonna put it back in there one more time. So it.
Okay, I'll take either. Really, no, I'm kidding. But like, I would love to hear from you. Yes.
The high value man thing is wild, though. What vasectomy? What are you doing to yourself? I mean, there's not a lot of things I'm afraid of in this world, but a vasectomy, that terrifies me. Nope. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, and that's actually a big reason why he wasn't a Rolo supporter, but he would have been aligned with a lot of this, right? Like he was really anti-settling down and stuff. And a lot of what Sneeko kept repeating in the last couple of discussions was, what the hell how could you call yourself a high value man without a family, without, and to me, I'm like, that's something I see being really important, to religious people, but especially like Muslim religion, like seems like without the whole family aspect and lots of children and people to protect, you're not really a man almost, right? So I think that's maybe why Sneeko reads as valid to me,
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that I forgot the name of that Twitch streamer. Maybe Zell knows. There's a Twitch streamer who also ended up he was Muslim, and then he was doing like prank videos and stuff like that or whatever. Then he got a bunch of tattoos, and then he felt like guilty for it, and then he got them removed and this and that. He had like a complete mental breakdown or whatever. But yeah, you're not supposed to have tattoos. That's like one thing. So that's what I'm saying. That's the ultimate test. If he gets them removed, then I'll believe him.
Okay. Like you can't, like if you got them before, you would have to remove. You couldn't just leave them and not get new ones. Okay.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have tattoos. But I mean, just the fact that he just copies everything Andrew Tate does. I believe Andrew Tate actually converted. But Sneeko, just the fact that he copies everything Andrew Tate does kind of leads me to believe that he doesn't even know why he's supposedly converted,
To me, Andrew Tate, so you're Muslim, but like literally everything Andrew Tate then did was, I can't remember, I don't know the correct words, but basically anti-Muslim. It's anti. There you go, right? So whereas in Sneeko is a child in a way to me, right? I mean, he's not literally a child, but like Andrew Tate's like 40, right?
Sneeko's impressionable.
That's right. He is young and impressionable. He does change a lot, right? But I think that why he converted, or he didn't even initially convert, right? When Andrew Tate was saying he was converted, Sneeko said he was dabbling. He didn't say I'm, full-fledged Muslim. He said he's looking into it. Seems to be the religion that resonates most for him, right? Yeah. Now he seems full-fledged, right? And he wasn't trying to shove it down anyone's throat the way Andrew Tate always makes sure to slip it in there, so and it's like he was just living like this is just what he did. I feel like he had to go do something revolving around religion, which is why he left early yesterday, right? And it's like I can see why Sneeko acts inconsistently because he's 23. Andrew Tate was smoking and drinking and still selling women and whatever, but he's Muslim.
Was he drinking though?
Yes. And that's what people were talking about. They're like, no, he was literally in that pizza box show, like where they're saying that's the pizza box is what gave the authorities the ability to come and get him. In that show, he was drinking and smoking a cigar. So
but to be fair though, Andrew Tate is from Romania. It's in the Balkans. I'm from Bosnia, also in the Balkans, and most Muslims in Bosnia drink. Could be a regional thing.
Could be. I mean, see, I don't know. I kind of feel like, and I mean, like I'm not Muslim, right? Like I said, I'm Christian, but I feel like when you're younger is when you start. You might act, like I said, inconsistently, especially you're a new convert. You're not really sure. You've got to wait to get convictions. At least that's how we see it in Christianity, right? Like you have to be convicted of certain things in your soul for it to resonate enough with you that you're going to really follow through and do it. So it's like a process to get there. And I feel like Andrew, where is that process? With the exception of he knew he was about to get arrested for selling humans. and would like to
Allegedly.
preferably not be in prison. Yeah, right. Like, with the exception of
I
that,
gotta put my Pat McAfee on another big.
like, where's Andrew Tate's conversion? And now he's just like, he did all of this, and now he's distancing himself with this tweet, right, saying that they're all a bunch of autistics. Like, wait, what? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel Muslim-y. I know I'm not Muslim. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's why I wanted you up here as a, a real gauge. But I'm like, to me, I feel like what Sneeko was saying, which is like, dude, a high value man is a man who is viewed in high esteem by, his community, by his peers, by his family, whatever. And, was really, really impressing the importance of family and whatever. And then Andrew Tate heard all of that and just tweeted, "I'm not red pill. All those dudes are autistic." And that was the end quote. Like, wait, what? Like, I feel like one of those is a little bit more on brand or on message. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nobody really knows what's in somebody's mind. So do we take them at their face value? Do we not believe them? Do we wait till they give us evidence? I don't know. I don't know.
I have hesitancy, Biggie. The reason why I want to go over it because when he was Christian on his Christian journey when was it Gideon was doing his Christian thing. Sneeko made a tweet that said, "I was at a church and nobody was there while I was praying." And Gideon made a tweet, "We went to the church after it closed, so of course nobody was going to be there." And he said, "Why are you tweeting this?" And I'm like, and that always leads me to believe, again, you like that attention and you always want that Matrix type thing. So I'm like, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't like to tell people what they are, what they're not. I just go by what they see. Lately, he been doing good. Andrew Tate at the end started doing better. So I don't know if it's a game move or whatever. Where Andrew Tate was going to interview, like, I apologize to anybody I offended when he went on. The third time he went on, what's his name? Piers Morgan.
Okay.
So he started doing that too. Talking about he's going to get rid of his casinos and his cam girl site. He's not doing that no more. He's going to be dedicated.
But then did he?
Well, he kind of went to jail like 2 weeks later, so I don't know how.
Yeah, the jail thing is kind of interesting too, because like somebody told me that in Romania somebody can, I mean their laws work different, right?
Yeah.
So somebody can apparently accuse you of something, and the cops will book you regardless of evidence, and he didn't get charged with anything, so who knows with that too.
Okay, I mean, it's an interesting thing because it seems as though there was a very long investigation that was taking place before he ever got arrested. And my understanding, and this is not from me knowing anyone from there, just so much as, doing research, my understanding is that they only could have held him over so many months, and even up until now where he's still on house arrest, like he's still incarcerated technically, right? They're just allowing a home incarceration if they had sufficient evidence so far. So the holding him over is giving them a chance to more deeply investigate and to continue the investigation. But my understanding is that they only could have done the initial arrest and held him in prison longer than 30 days if they had real evidence. So, I mean, and I don't know exactly how that works. They might just be being spiteful and petty because one of his so-called victims was a 15-year-old girl whose father's a politician. And maybe more importantly, because he was walking around acting like he could pay off every politician in Romania and just get his way and just walk away.
But he actually tried. That's why he was in jail a little long.
Yeah.
He actually tried to do it.
It's funny that what got him in the end was a pizza box. That's the funniest thing.
They said that story not true, but
but it's funny.
It's funny to think it is.
Yeah. Like, what's her name? The Greta
Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg be the one that took him down. Would be the most hilarious story of how did one of the most famous Google man in the world that year get taken down? Greta Thunberg.
I think that's another issue I have, right? Okay, so let's go with that whole story, right? So the whole Greta Thunberg and whatever at that point. So
the new Pizzagate.
Pizzagate, exactly. Pizzagate 2.0. But okay, so he gets arrested, right? And then he has his people attacking her and blaming her, even though he knows what he's done wrong, right? And then he starts having his lawyers lie. And then we start seeing, hey, he created this entire escape fantasy, right? He created a doctor, a paper trail to a doctor in Dubai. Can't imagine why he picked Dubai, but okay. In Dubai, that was going to treat his terminal cancer, and that he must leave to get treatment from this doctor. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm putting it all in quotes is because, hey, if you were dying and you were terminal, where's your treatment now? Because I'm just saying, now they let you out, right? You can't leave. You can't leave the country, but you could get treatment. So where are all these doctors? Where's all this discussion about this so-called cancer that you have? That you desperately need a doctor for, and that's why they needed to let you out of prison and let you fly to Dubai, where there's no extradition. I know, and again, to me, it strikes me as like, one thing I've always respected about Muslims is whether I liked the way they think or not. I like the fact that if they're gonna say, I don't know, stone you to death over honor or something, they'll then turn themselves in, because it wasn't about, keeping themselves out of prison or whatever. It's about their family honor, so they're gonna own it times a million. Like, they're not sitting there trying to hide from nobody and lie about it, like, because they think that what they did was right. So I don't know. It just strikes me as I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. I think everything Andrew Tate does is calculated. He's trying to get himself out of this pickle. And he feels like if he can get the right balance of he's not showing up at interviews anymore, no one's seeing him. So no one can call him out for all of the ways he's not actually, was it haram? And whatever.
He got poison now. He's sitting in his room staring blankly at an Instagram live and not saying words.
Not saying he's right, like, this is like, it's some weird, I don't know.
He's a 16-year-old fantasy. I promise you, Biggie, when he was every 16-year-old prophet that he's so cool, he just sitting there like showing his shoulder, like he got like purple marks on it. Like, they poison him and just have a cap. They poison him and you just stir like you
like, this weird. This weird, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, and again,
I would have thought that cool when I was 12. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I know someone who is exactly like Andrew Tate. I mean, for real though. His actual personality. He was in the chat earlier, Kelly. If you wanted to see a real life Andrew Tate, that's how Kelly was. Like, he was like that, like, to the point where it's crazy, like that actual personality and the ego and whatever. I've seen that type of behavior. Kelly's also a fighter as well. He was just in Thailand doing Muay Thai in Thailand, when to go to Brazil, do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or he was in Brazil, sorry, doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. The next place he wants to go is Thailand. And so, I've seen the behavior. I think that's why I'm so sure about it, because I'm like, I've seen the behavior and I've seen the manipulation tactics, and I've seen when people with that type of ego are genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. And it's funny now because you see all these kids who, I think, can't hear you anymore. I don't know if you're on.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I was away from the StreamYard tab too long. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say. Now you see all these young kids who they don't got the energy. I'm telling you, they don't got the energy, but they're trying to act like they do. I don't know if you guys saw that clip of the kid in like a class, like high school or something, saying, "Oh, I'm an alpha male. Alpha male don't get sent to detention," or something like that. And it was hilarious to watch. That's not going to go anywhere. It's all these lost men or boys who don't have any guidance, so they look for Andrew Tates, and that's like the worst place to get your advice from.
Biggie, we do got some. You did talk about it earlier, and before we get off, because we almost at the 2-hour mark, and our guests seem to be our good luck charm, because every time we have a guest, Ruby comes back 100%. So
that's it.
Here we go. We got the quickest way to become high value man. We gonna all talk about it. Do not get married.
That's half your value right there.
You know what I'm saying? Biggie is a married man, so shout out to him.
I am a married man.
So he has experience. I don't have the experience, but I do want to be married. I don't know why you would not want to be married. That's part of your value, part of what you bring to the earth. You don't avoid family creation. Biggie's also a father.
That's literally that's what you strive for. Not a man, a woman, as a human being. You wouldn't be here if you weren't someone's kid. That's literally, if there's one, in my opinion, one objective goal to life, one purpose is to have kids. That's it.
Well, I mean, really, it is actually. And we have proof. I mean, as much as you can prove these things, right? So I'm an evolutionary psychologist. And so you can actually see when they talk about survival of the fittest and all that stuff, you can see the way genes literally proliferate in a way to help you survive and reproduce. So, like testosterone makes men more attractive, more likely to survive and reproduce. It also makes men more likely to later get cancer and die and bald and a bunch of stuff, right? But it doesn't matter because the point is that it, it's all about the reproducing part. That's the more important part, is to be able to pass your genes down. And each individual one of your genes wants to survive and reproduce. That's how important the survival reproducing thing is.
Yeah.
Not, and I have to go back to the first one really quick, because all of our research proves actually that married men are 40 times more successful than their unmarried counterparts at all stages of life. So guys who get married at 18 or at 25 or at 30, doesn't matter.
Too.
If you compare them to their unmarried counterparts, so let's say you have the exact same education, exact same career goals, whatever, exact same upbringing, and you compare them, married men are on average 40% more successful than their unmarried counterparts. So even that, it tells you that you're going to be able to become more successful more quickly if you're married. So if you want to be high value, why would you avoid marriage when it's a way to become 40% more successful than anyone who's not married? Like that's not, it's like you're not even going with like just the logic of like research and reason. Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of guys who are buying into the whole like being scared of married. Like they have this fear, right? That their wife is gonna leave them and this and that, take half the stuff. It's like, don't let it get there. I mean, there's some marriages you can't help, right? Some marriages you can give it your all and it doesn't work out. But if you give it as good as you can, like there's a good chance it'll work out for you.
Right.
A lot of times it's if a marriage fails, it could have been prevented.
I have a question for you, Biggie, since you're married, right? In your opinion, right? Who has been, because you hear it all the time, it seems as though the guys think that like it's just on a woman's whim whether or not things are good or bad in a marriage, right? But in your opinion, who do you think has had more of an influence on keeping your marriage solid? Yourself, your wife, or is it actually 50-50?
I think it's 50-50. I think it has to be 50-50 because so there's a weird trend, I think, in modern society that a lot of people get married if they have like similar likes and dislikes or whatever. They like to do the same thing. That's not the right way. You gotta marry someone that has the same life goals as you. You're trying to reach the same destination. And then a lot of the red pill people talk about like, oh, you work on yourself and you become super successful, this and that, and then you look for to settle down. It's like that's also like, I don't know, that good chance you're gonna land yourself with someone who's just after your money at that point. It's about working somewhere together.
I do want to say this: if you become rich and then you just go to Miami looking for women, you do realize most women that move to Miami are. I'm just saying. Las Vegas too. I saw that it was in Las Vegas. Like the pool is so much bigger. Yeah, it's bigger because they want something. It's like when you see women go to the NBA All-Star game. I'm calling y'all out. I know y'all see it. Y'all go to the NBA All-Star game. I know what you're looking for. We not playing. I know you looking for the athletes. You do not even like basketball. You don't know how many friends I have that went to the NBA All-Star game, never watched a game of basketball in their life. They're like, I'm going to. It's in Atlanta this time. We going to Atlanta.
It's trying to get a shortcut through life.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's less satisfying. So, people have control of their own lives. I firmly believe it. As much as people like to put us down, whatnot. I think that we have a lot more control than we think, and if you work towards that, you'll end up satisfied in life.
Oh, 100%. That's why actually I asked you. I figured you'd say at the very least 50-50, but I would actually say that me and my husband are together predominantly because of him, actually. Um, I'm very submissive, right? And I don't mean as a personality, I mean as in submission to my husband as per, the Bible, right? And so as a result, we're good when he's good. Do you see what I'm saying? So when he's doing the work on himself and on our marriage, because I'm going to keep doing the same thing regardless, right? But it's like his influence on me shows. So when, if he starts, to falter or to fail, it's on me, yes, to step up and to not just say, oh, I'm giving up then. But you see the tension in our marriage. You see the tension between us. You see things are just not running smoothly. And then, but because I am the way that I am, also, as soon as he wants to fix it, I'm great. Right. And you literally see me shine as a result. You see everything moves, better and faster and more efficiently. Right.
Yeah.
And so men have a lot more control on the kinds of women that they say that they want than they think that they do. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, because most women do not want their marriages to fail, especially if they've been in them for like 10 years plus. Like, dude, we're older, we're wrinklier. If you've got children, now you're not even fresh. Like, why would you want to throw away, a decade, 2 decades of marriage if you don't have to, right? But
Yeah.
you need to feel like both people are willing to work at it so both people can be happy, right?
Yeah, I would have agreed with you until I had a kid. I'm telling you, once you get a kid, the women really come through, and that brings the balance. That kind of wraps everything together, and then you really see how much we need each other.
Oh yeah, no, facts, absolutely. I'm not saying we don't need each other. I'm not saying just like my influence on our household. I would say probably maybe overtly people might see that I do more within the household, just generally, but it's not about that. It's about, I'm saying more honestly, I'll say my attitude, how I feel about like the world, right? When people say happy wife, happy life, they're saying it because a happy woman who's happy and fulfilled and feels appreciated and whatever, there's almost like no end to what gap she's willing to step in and to provide, right, for her family, for her husband, for her children, right? But when a woman's depressed, when a woman's down, when she feels unappreciated, when she feels lesser than, it's like there's like a big roadblock, and then you see how much doesn't get done, how many little teeny tiny things that she was doing in a day that you didn't appreciate till it's gone now, right? So I don't know. But being married is different than not being married, and you don't know until you know. And this is why I don't understand why so many people in these spaces are taking marriage advice from unmarried people. It blows my mind.
Listen, I'm quiet on the marriage debate. All I can do is tell you how to pull a girl. It probably ain't good for you. Listen, she probably toxic to your life. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some things in like Western society. It's like, okay, I get it. Like courts and a divorce tend to favor women, especially when it comes to like who gets the kid, things like that. But like I said, I mean, I think most marriages can work if both sides put in as much effort as they can, and even if one side doesn't, I think like a strong man or somebody can still hold it together.
I 100% agree with you. 100%. And I'm just saying for the record, Sneeko very much agreed with what you were saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, I know women like to give Sneeko the benefit of the doubt. Let's go.
I don't, maybe because he's younger, right? Yeah, there's like that little mama instinct that kicks in. I think he's a good enough kid. And,
I think he's so influential. I think it's because big as us as dudes, like, yeah, I know what that is. And I think women like that's the little brother. I feel like it's a little brother. I call it little brother syndrome. Everybody feel like, oh, he's just learning.
No, I didn't feel like that. I hated Sneeko a year ago. Like I literally was repulsed, and I was like, wow, what a pathetic loser. Like what a waste of potential. He had all his potential, all of his really early content was like, wow, brilliant. And then he threw it all away. I was done. Like I had I'm telling you, when seeing Sneeko show up on FNF and have this discussion about Rollo's tweet, I've never been more surprised in my life.
Well,
never.
The third thing is so ridiculously stupid. I don't think
Wait, Which one was it again?
Vasectomy in your
Vasectomy in your
20s.
20s.
Oh my god.
That's the worst advice I've ever had a grown man give any. Yeah.
You know, sometimes like they can't even reverse it. Like that's just so stupid.
Yeah, I think what is it? The first 5 years is what 60%. Then after 5 is like 30%, and then it goes
It's not
down.
that bad. No, it's 90 to 95%
I thought about being able to have a kid though, because sometimes you can reverse it and then
no,
then it-
reversible means being able to produce sperm. So 90 to 95%. But here's the thing: there's two different types of vasectomy, right? And there's two different types of reversal, and they have their own pros and cons. And so when you're looking at one of them, has a much lower rate of success in reversing, right? And that's the one you're talking about that's like 60%, but that's not the favored one. That's where they basically they make a diversion around, right? Versus the one that just cuts the snip and then attaches these two sections. That's the one that's like 90%. But yes, after 15 years of having that vasectomy, that's when you start seeing the reversal rates dramatically decrease. And again, we only have statistics from the people, right? There's like a selection bias there because they tell you when you go in for a vasectomy, this is not a reversible thing. It's not like temporary birth control. Like expect it to last forever. Sometimes they reverse themselves, right? Sometimes within, people are able to reverse them no problem, but this is not a temporary solution. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. That's crazy. You did like no, you should not sterilize yourself because you don't want to learn basic self-control.
Yeah, that's nuts. I mean, what's the point of number 2 then? If you have number 3,
you don't need number 2. You automatically.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 3 of them. Look, do not get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s. Those are the exact same point, basically.
Number 5 is almost impossible. You cannot eliminate all sedation. All sedation.
Oh, yeah, no.
All your dopamine, anything fun, you have to basically eliminate anything.
Number 4 is done by someone who's never been to a gym. I don't know.
It's like
you need some breaks in there. You need some breaks.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's look at it because that's the thing. You need to be able to. We need to be able to see Biggie and also this list somehow. I don't know. We're gonna have to fix this for next time, right? But I love it. It says, well, you're supposed to play to your strengths and build wealth. Okay. So I play to my strengths and build wealth, learn game and network. Okay, and lift consistently. But what if none of those things are my strengths? Like, how do I build wealth?
There we go.
Like, build wealth is not a thing by itself. Like, it's almost crazy when you really look at what he wrote here. No wonder everyone bucked, because it's like, okay, so first what you need to do is sterilize yourself. Okay, then while you're sterile, I'd like you to go to the gym, lift like every single day, just lift every day, right? Don't drink, don't smoke, don't read books, don't laugh with friends, don't do anything that might distract you or make you feel good inside, okay? While you're doing that, you're going to learn game from a bunch of people. Don't control yourself. You don't need to. Don't worry. You have a vasectomy. And sleep with anything that moves. Of course, it's okay because HIV, HPV, HSV, yeah, there's no risk at all there, right? It's just about pregnancy. That's the only thing we need to worry about. And then, yeah, it's going to be fine. This is how you're going to become a high value man.
Yeah, I don't know. All that is wild. And a lot of these just straight up contradict each other. So you're spending money on a vasectomy while you want to build wealth. And then you also want to lift consistently, but also be like learning how to network and do all this stuff. I mean, sure, if you're trying to get money by being a bodybuilder, but have you seen some of these like multi-billionaires? They're scrawny as hell. They don't got time to go to the gym.
Facts.
They're building their business.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my guy BMT in the chat.
Hey BMT and hey Will. Yeah, no, that's the thing, because the real priority is not going to be all of this superficial nonsense, because like if you look at the multi-billionaires, their worth is not based on any of that. That's why a lot of these guys, like look at Mark Zuckerberg. Does he seem like the kind of guy who has game to y'all? Like, no, he didn't learn game. He didn't learn networking. You know what he learned? He learned how to do Facebook and do it really well. And so people get over his social awkwardness because they want to be in business with him at the end. Just like a lot of socially awkward men get wives that are social butterflies. And then the wives are the social glue for them. And so they've learned networking to be, I have this beautiful woman on my arm and she does this networking for me. She fixes it. I'm the business guy. I'm the ideas guy. And she comes, she does all the social stuff.
Mark
right?
is a black belt. I said Mark is a black belt now. BMT bring it up in the chat.
Oh, really?
Damn.
But he's mostly learning now as he get older. So
I'm terrified. That's the last thing we need is Mark Zuckerberg karate chopping us through the computer.
I mean, I'm just saying though, right? Let's say he's a black belt. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in him? Ask you for.
No, he is. He is a black belt. He showed it. He's already shown his videos.
If he was effective, I'm not even.
He
I'm
does.
not trying to be rude.
He does Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He does
Brazilian
Brazilian
jiu-jitsu. Okay, that's a little bit more intimidating.
And he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
and also he talks to
Brazilian
someone when
jiu-jitsu, weight class really matters, right? You're talking about Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is grappling, right? And so now you're talking about height and weight class does play a role, whereas when you're talking about a black belt, it doesn't as much play a role. So I mean, like say karate, something that doesn't involve needing to move body weight.
Well,
if somebody grabs you and chokes you out, that's a different story. And most fights end up on the ground. That's definitely a statistic fact. We definitely know most fights do end up on the ground. I mean, you learn some format of that. Elon Musk actually does martial arts. He does Krav Maga.
He's not really good at it though. Mark Zuckerberg won. Mark Zuckerberg is good.
Mark Zuckerberg is actually good at what he does. He's actually good at what he does.
He's so awkward. I saw when he tried. He's so awkward.
But here's the thing about it. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of gym people are awkward. A lot of gym people in the gym people think they go in there just to work out. There's actually a lot of them actually have depression, self-anxiety. That's why they look in the mirror a lot. They have if y'all read a lot of bodybuild, I don't read all their articles, but a lot of them have they don't think they look good. They actually think they look ugly or hideous. That's why they actually
sort of stuff.
Right. That's why a lot of them have to go to therapy or have to get treatment sometime for a lot of their issues. There's a lot of underlying. This is why if you see a lot of the guys who are at the gym, they try to hype themselves up to be something. And I'm watching the implosion. I'm watching the implosion of these talking points. It honestly should have gone to therapy rather than this far. But now it's on a self-implosion genocide, which I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the red pill genocide. And I'm gonna watch
really,
the burn.
BMT? You're gonna enjoy the genocide? Jeez.
Yep. Yes. You're right. Listen, that's natural selection, baby. When you're starting to talk about doing vasectomies to yourself
on the video game,
that's actually a fair point. That is natural selection right there. Self-vasectomy. Get him out of the gene pool.
But you know what? No, exactly. It's not because
I'm not stopping it.
The problem is, right, and see, now, Big, you brought it up earlier. There's a lot of dudes who don't have fathers or male role models, and they're trying really desperately not to pick the worst kind. Like, for example, the one that's down the block trying to get you to hold a gram or something, right, and be a runner for them. And so they find these guys online who sell them a lie and a dream. But remember, they have no training. Nobody socially to show them that, no, this is not the right way. No, these guys are lying to you. They're manipulating you. And these guys are using kind of like the lover boy technique, only, more as like a, father-son kind of thing to manipulate these young guys. So what's happening is the people that we really don't like, the ones who are spreading all of this nonsense, they're not the ones doing the vasectomies, right? They would never, as fresh and all of them dudes sat there while they were sitting there saying, yeah, Rolo's right. But they all said, no, I never got a vasectomy. I never would. But it still makes sense. It's the fastest way to become a high value man. Then why wouldn't you do it? No, because it's
What-
bullshit, right?
what
But
if-
they don't mind. They're gonna poison a bunch of young kids and then sterilize a bunch of young kids who are gonna hit 18 and get vasectomies because Myron said so, and Myron would never lead me wrong. Even and then by the time they, their brains fully mature at 25, 26, oops, it's already too late. They're already sterile. Do you know what I mean?
You can't do number 5. You cannot eliminate all sedation. This is ridiculous.
You can.
All?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
You get, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man, so the thing about it is this, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why I think all these pill talking points are levels of genocidal from sociology, you've already seen this proven when it came to young girls on Facebook. This is why Facebook had the issue with young women. If their social media is not a certain type of highlight, then they feel like they're not it. You got to young men now having with the levels of the pill of how far do you go down hell, or you're not a man, versus that of get a job, learn how to alternate between that of romance, life, finances. There's certain parameters as a man you have to go through, like the Pinocchio journey, to actually figure out what's my coming of being a man, versus that of being a puppet, and now you don't even know where to go. But the minute that idol says, "Oh, I was just playing with you guys," oh shoot, I literally got that change in my body that I was not expecting, or I did X, Y, and Z. This is why they're now flopping every time somebody says, "Hey, I support you guys. I'm fighting for your masculinity." How does one fight for somebody else? I can't fight for none of these men's masculinity. It has to be something themselves.
Yeah.
I think BMP had trip. But we are going to wrap the show up. We went over because we did have technical issues. And so I wanted to give everybody a chance to speak and talk. So, and when Ruby's thing went over, she came back foolish. So I'm happy about that. So we did get the discussion we wanted. So we did go over. But I'm happy. Thank BMT for being here. Follow him, Business Mind Talk. Biggie Boss, if you into gaming. I'm pretty sure he's going to do vlogs soon. As soon as he do that, we're going to for surely support him. Because my guy always supporting. We got friends from all over the world, baby. Look at this. I'll be that news. Y'all can promote yourselves real quick if y'all want to. Even though I kind of did it, but
Death to Red Pill. That's all I got to say.
Death to Red Pill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo.
No, it was fun chatting with you guys. Maybe I'll pop in again some other time.
Yes,
See,
come back.
I told you, I promise we're not about the debunk. Now, I am obviously adamantly going to disagree if I disagree, right? Like, but we're not here to be all debunky and no, I'm going to prove you're going to I'm going to shame. I hate all of that. Like, we don't get anywhere when that's what the discussion actually is. Like, how are we going to get any type of elucidation, clarification, encourage more people to speak? Like, we need to get somewhere in discussion. We don't get anywhere when we're like, constantly. So I'm really glad you came up and you gave us a chance. BMT is he wrong, but I love him still. So sorry. No, for real, I have to respond to that. I do, because I have to say
No, you don't. Just
No,
take
I
your
do.
loss and go
I
down.
absolutely
Go
have to.
down. Yes, you
So,
can. You
no,
lost.
but I'm just not going to though. So the thing is,
Sound
right?
like a loss to me.
Now the thing is that when we're talking about any movement, okay, and here's the problem with movements, whether we're talking about feminism, we're talking about red pill, we're talking about, it doesn't matter what the movement is, they all eventually get corrupted. Even religion, right?
Oh,
it doesn't
good.
really
You're
matter.
trying to play that card down.
No, but it's true. Literally, right? Even if you look at religions get corrupted, right? Every movement gets corrupted. Why? Because we're not talking about the pure ideology anymore. We're now talking about once humans get their hands on it, and then people who, let's say, are good faith, allowing not good faith people in to hide behind this movement, using it like a mask while they're, just going to do whatever the hell they want to do. And so then we get to the place where it's like, okay, does Black Lives Matter, right? The original ideology and the original purpose, is that totally invalid because the actual heads of that movement then decided to be corrupt and bastardize it and just use all that money to buy themselves mansions in the sky? Does it change the fact that, it's sad that we have to make statements like Black Lives Matter because we see a distinct difference in the way the average Black 11-year-old child versus white 11-year-old child are treated in the same society. Like, and so what we need to realize is that we're not actually fighting against particular ideologies, because honestly, the corruption in all these ideologies is the same, because it's the same level of brokenness, it's the same level of corruptness, it's the same level of problem, right? We're fighting a problem of humanity and a problem of brokenness, right? And we need to stop like making it about, well, I'm red pill and I'm this and I'm that, and now we're fighting for this corrupted movement. Like, forget all of that. Like, let's throw away the movements for a second and let's just fight about the individual issues, right? Can we come to some type of agreement amongst each other? Can we possibly get to a place where, hey, listen, we all see eye to eye here. Here's where the problem is. Here's a good solution. Let's work together to enact that solution. Like, that's what I see. Like, to me, that's more important than trying to demonize any particular movement, because they're all corrupted. But they're all corrupted because people corrupt them, not because the movement itself, right? Communism in theory is great. They say that all the time, right? But communism in theory is not the same thing as communism in practice. And that's why communism in practice often becomes very much a problem, right? So I think it's the same thing with all movements.
That's fair. That's
Be scared of any ism.
That is for sure. All right, we just have to, I think that's what it comes down to. So, as much as I say red pill ideology is probably the closest thing to what I believe, just like progressivism is kind of the closest thing to what I believe, I don't support any particular movement because they all get corrupt. And then I would have to, I don't know, side with an Andrew Tate or a Rollo Tomasi or, come on now, Melanie King or, no, I'm good.
Let's make our own movement called Just Be a Normal Person.
There you go. I've been saying that. Why can't we just call good women, call good men, like, functional people? Like, what's wrong with using the real words that just apply to these things?
Don't get Twitter clicks.
Facts.
Exactly.
Shout out to my Biggie, my guy, my Skyrim plug. That's what I call
it. Yeah. There. Maybe that's made up for Redfall.
Yeah, I'm like, we supposed to play Redfall together on the Overall 99 Gaming channel, and it kind of don't work. So
yeah, he saw it fall apart live on my stream.
Yeah. So I appreciate you, Biggie. Thank you for coming by.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Shar. We could not have done the stream without the two of y'all, and BMT sliding in there at the end. We got a bunch of different people on, so we really got to test this. Let us know if you guys like the call-in, discussion hour, whatever. I like it. I thought it was cool.
It was. We got a bunch of people in. We moved stuff around. It worked fine. So I do appreciate you again, Biggie, for coming through.
All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll catch you later.
All right.
All right.
So, finish the show. I'm happy. We had problems.
Boy, did we ever.
We had problems. I think it stopped when you just got suddenly kicked out of everything. So I think it just all of a sudden started working again. I was like, what? So I do want to thank y'all for watching, like and subscribe, all that stuff. It is me, Zelmay. Ruby, any last?
Classic Ruby. No, I'm kidding. Remember, guys, that this is going to be show 1 of 2 of the week. Okay, we are still keeping our dedicated Thursdays, which is going to be a dedicated news day. Okay, and so next week we're going to be doing Tuesday as well, where it's going to be, a half and half news, half discussion piece. Guys, make sure you come ready to jump on and speak your piece, okay? And then we are going to, the week after that, we're going to do Mondays and Thursdays, okay? And, otherwise, regularly scheduled program. So we hope we see you guys here in a couple days, okay? That will be Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know any of the other types of time because I'm not great at that. My bad. Guys, look out for a couple premieres. We still got a couple premieres coming up this week, so it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
Spotify, Amazon, now Google. We added Google this week, so Google Podcast. If y'all there, follow us on that. If you prefer that, if you want to just listen, I will cut out the segments that we didn't have today, and then whenever it gets uploaded fully, and then put them on those platforms, which will be out tomorrow. So I do appreciate y'all. I'm putting out another show in a minute, so I do appreciate y'all on that. On my Overall 99 Entertainment channel, so I'll be over there. Overall 99 Entertainment. I appreciate y'all, and remember, I don't know, I'll be there.
Wow, that was weak, Sal. That was weak.
Come on, go, Ruby, got it. You got it. Come on, give me something right now. Come on, Ruby, got it right now on the spot.
I wouldn't have started no sentence like that. We all know Ruby's not clever like that. I don't even try. So yeah, thank you guys for coming out again. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you have not already, and we will see you guys on Thursday or on one of the premieres or on one of the in the comments section, because man, we gotta have mad videos we're gonna have to drop every single day to catch up on this whole video thing now. If we got 2 different shows a week, it's gonna be great. Y'all, you guys are gonna have content coming out of your ears. You're gonna be so full of content. Make sure you are sharing that content, y'all. Thank you. Every little bit helps. Cheers, y'all.